For generation, our family worked this land, grew food and built homes and communities and the soil under our feet. We treasure that. But going forward, we often did not have the resources and the material, the tools that were needed to do it, but we made it work anyway. But all of that changes as of today. Welcome to a journey through the heart of our shared legacy, a story of land, belonging, and the future that beckons us all. Today, we uncover the vital truths and challenges faced by Ayers property owners. Imagine the legacy of land passed down through generation, a connection to the earth that holds untold stories. As we soar above these landscapes, we see the potential for growth and renewal. The Natural Resources Conservation Service, NRCS, offer programs that enhance the health of our soil, water, air, plant, animal, and energy, each a gift to our community.
Our agency was basically born out of the Dust Bowl because a lot of the farming practices back then, little did a lot of people know that they were causing harm to the environment. So the Dust Bowl was one of those bad things that happened to where corrections needed to be made. So some of the practices, getting people to put back on different conservation practices, conservation tillage, doing some kind of way that you can conserve the soil and not let that soil leave off. So our agency is a technical, but it's also a financial agency to where we assist landowners with their implementation of practices in a different variety of ways, whether it's timber, whether it's cattle, any kind of livestock, erosion problems, and just going from there.
For many Ayers property owners, the land remained undeveloped, bound by complexity and challenges.
I'm here in Chambers County, Alabama this morning to meet the Griffin family on their family farm. I believe the land has been in their family for quite some time, but I'm here today to help them see what's available to them through the USDA and NRCS. We have a lot of financial and technical assistance programs that helps landowners manage their property better, conserve natural resources, and just overall to help the land to make it more productive, conserve it, and make it more profitable for generations to come. So I'm excited to be here today with the Griffith family to help them go over any options that they may have through the USDA and NRCS.
Welcome to the Griffin property. So happy to have you guys here today. As far as you can see is acreage that's owned by the Griffin family. My granddaddy, Roosevelt Griffin, purchased the land probably in the 1950-ish. And I can only imagine what a sacrifice it was, during that time to make a purchase this large. We've been fortunate. The property still in whole is owned by the family. When I was growing up, we had all types of fruit trees. My grandmother had a large garden across the street. My granddaddy grew cotton. Actually, he was a source of income for a lot of people for a long time. All I remember about the cotton fields is that I used to play in them and was kind of where we were babysat to keep out of trouble when we were little. But one thing I wanted to mention is when my mother was living, she used to walk the whole property. There were, clear paths through, and that was something she enjoyed doing. And I would like to, see that happen again. Our legacy is so strong. And again, I'm so proud of our family for just keeping the land in the family. But, moving forward, I really would like to have a plan to, do a better job of, conserving the property and bringing it back to its original vibrancy.
My primary job is administering and managing grants and agreements. The NRCS, we have a lot of partners, whether it be state governments, local governments, soil and water conservation districts, CBOs, community-based organizations, and other groups. I guess the main thing the NRCS does through their agreements, it helps us build capacity to do things that we normally couldn't do. So we go out, we find partners. For instance, what we're doing here is something that was put on by one of our partners through an agreement that we have with them to make sure that we educate the public on what we do and make sure our programs are distributed fair and equitable across all producer designations.
We do a lot of outreach events, going to events like such, or going to schools, I've been to a plethora of events, I can't even tell you everything, and just speaking and letting people know what we have to offer, having them give them out phone numbers and contact. Please call me with any questions that you may have, trying to build that relationship so that they can in turn trust what you are telling them.
I had been looking into the possibility of farms or doing something rather than land just sitting there and not being used.
What NRCS does is voluntary and it's based on the landowner's objectives. Okay. Where do you all see your place going? Where do you want to see it going? What is your needs? Recreation? Do you guys just want to hunt? You want to fish? Okay. Or do you want to try to manage the land from a production standpoint? There are kind of two options or two programs that I think that would fit you guys best. Number one, we have the EQIP program, or the Environmental Quality Incentive Program.
EQIP stands for the Environmental Qualities Incentive Program. So basically what that program is we're helping you install a practice to meet a resource concern. So example of that is you may have cows. They have a pond that they drink in, they poop in, and that's just not what we want to see as a conservation service. So your concern is providing water for the cattle. How can I provide water for the cattle? Well, a well is a way that we can do that. So we help cost assist on that well to where now you not only have a well and water for the cattle, we're putting you in a better operating situation to where you're rotational grazing. Now these cows are going in different paddocks, and that helps their health. That helps them be better as far as clean water to drink. So there's ways that we can kind of tell people upper level step to getting the cattle in better health. So those are some of the practices that we help with. And there's a whole host of other ones too.
Based on what I've seen in the condition of some of these loblolly pines, it's definitely time to have a first thinning. Sure. And we do have that practice in EQIP. It didn't seem like there was a lot of undesirable species under the understory that could cause any problems or issues. So maybe a thinning, come in with a burn, fire breaks to kind of help you manage that property better, to help you guys get to the end game over there, which with loblolly pine is clear cut and replant. So that's the EQIP program. The other program that I wanted to discuss with you guys today is the CSP program. Okay. It's the Conservation Stewardship Program. Now, it's got some of the same concepts as EQIP about helping do practices, but it's a 5-year program. And it pays a base payment for what you already have out here on the landscape, but it also pays an additional payment for what you choose to adopt to do. For instance, the burning, thinning, it's even got provisions in there for replanting, pollinator habitat establishment, nesting boxes, wildlife structures, food plots. There's just a myriad of different types of enhancements that you can do under the CSP program. I think there's a lot of potential here, and there's a lot of programs that NRCS has that I think that could benefit the family greatly. So I've enjoyed my time here today and the family sharing their place with me, and most of all, hearing their stories and sharing the legacy of the place and how they've held on to it over the years. So that's nice and refreshing to see. And it's also nice to see a family in unity and trying to manage the land.
Discover the pathways of preservation and prosperity through the NRCS. Programs like the Environmental Quality Incentive Program and the Conservation Stewardship Program offer guidance and support. Imagine the possibility for your land, whether urban or rural, as we delve into these opportunities.
Rights to develop and farming.
Through partnership and outreach, we build bridges of understanding and trust. The NRCS commitments to property owners shines, fostering relationships that nurture and sustains. Urban farmers, this is your time. USDA has many programs and resources that are available to grow crops and provide opportunity to provide food in our communities and provide food in desert areas, so you will be able to benefit from these programs that USDA offer. Take advantage of these opportunities because they pay benefit in the long run. Hear from families who have embraced these programs, preserving their land and enriching their heritage. For many of them, the land is more than soil. It is a legacy of future generation to come.
Equip has helped me with infrastructure because I needed irrigation, drip irrigation, because I do farm sustainably. And of course, I have a body of water on my property. And so it's allowed me to harness the natural resources that I do have to input into my growing practices. And of course, it's also enabled me to secure my place for my small ruminants through fencing projects and things of that nature. So Equip is, in essence, helped me with infrastructure. Environmental Quality Incentives Program. I think that's what the EQIP stands for. Now, of course, the Equip program is there to help farmers like me, like others that have already started farming and been farming for at least, and been producing something for at least, I think, requirement is 2 years. And of course, and those various programs, they are there to help you to harness the natural resources that are around you. They've got various other programs that help harness natural resources. But of course, the ones that I've been particularly, able to tap into were the Equip as it pertained to building my infrastructure for drip irrigation, the trenching, the piping, and all of that to get water from, my water source, from my surface water and my groundwater, because you have groundwater and you have surface water. Groundwater is what wells come from. Surface water are your lakes and your ponds and rivers and those things. So I have surface water and I have groundwater. So it's enabled me to take advantage of those water sources to be able to grow my products. So any information, anytime you can put out information regarding these programs, it's very helpful. And of course, in organizations like us, we're happy to share this information, what we're doing here and anything like that, because the more people know about it and the more avenues that they have to find out about it, the more likely they are to take advantage of it for livelihood and prosperity. And of course, and the byproduct of that is that local economies are strengthened, particularly, the economies where we live and work and all of that. And so what we're doing today, some of the programs we've been able to take advantage of today enable us to bring farmers markets to food deserts, low to moderate income communities, and also to get food from our rural farms to other food businesses because of our capacity to grow more food. And where, of course, urban farms are also a part of our food system because it's local, and of course, and it's a way to get this local food onto the plates of many of our residents.
A lot of people are kind of nervous about coming in thinking that they have to have a certain acreage requirement. The NRCS and all USDA, there's no minimum acreage requirement. So if you're in an urban setting and you wanted to put in maybe a high tunnel to start, a garden, that's definitely something we could look at. Rural communities, even if you are in a rural community and you only have a half an acre tract, we can help you out there as well. So there's no minimum acreage requirement. Essentially, so the main difference is you're not really heating a hoop house. You're just it's really just to kind of help extend the growing season. With a greenhouse, you could grow and you could heat it and insulate it and all that. But with a hoop house, you're really just extending that growing season a couple months. And so that's the main thing, just extending the growing season for some vegetables. It's one of the first contracts I ever did with the NRCS, and this guy had inherited about 100 acres from his grandfather, and he was doing it the way that his grandfather had done it, and he had been doing it for about 2 years at this point when he called us. And he said, "Hey, Tristan, I'm farming dirt out here. My cows are eating dirt. I can't keep grass growing. And, I'm fertilizing every year, and I'm trying my best, and the grass isn't growing." And so we get out there and we're looking, and, first thing off is he's overgrazing. He's got too many cows on his property, or on a specific pasture. And so we got to looking, and he was watering out of a pond, and the pond was dirty, and there was a lot of erosion happening from the cows getting in there. And it was just, it wasn't necessarily anything he was doing wrong. It's just, stuff his grandfather had done and he'd seen him do. So that's how he knew to do it. So we took a step back and we looked at the whole farm, and I said, "Hey, man, you're really going to have to reduce some numbers. We got to get that stocking rate down, because this grass, no matter how much you fertilize it, the cows they're out competing with the grass." We put in a pipeline system for them with municipal hookup, and put in some watering facilities, put in some HUAs, heavy use areas, and set up water within each paddock that we set up. And we fenced out that pond because the cows were just being really detrimental to the pond. And so we got all that set up, and it was a big contract, and he was kind of nervous, but we were with him every step of the way. It was, like I said, it was my first one, so I was really, gung-ho to help this guy, because it was really close to home with, it just, like he said, farming dirt, and I've heard that multiple times before. And so seeing him, and he put all of it in, and he's doing really good now. So.
Yeah, I remember when Dad used to plow these fields and till this land and grew crops, and man, it just felt so good to see him out there doing that, and we would just love to see it continue to go on, you know. And we had cows, pigs, chickens. I mean, to see him work this land, man, it was just amazing to see. So one man his age,
it sure was
70-something years old, still out there doing all those things. So, we need to keep his legacy going, to try to improve the land and make some positive things happen for it. We saw him doing so many great things, and we just need to continue to strive to do those things.
We like to say anything with federal government is always alphabet soup. There's always acronyms for everything. But CTA is Conservation Technical Assistance, and that's really our bread and butter. At the end of the day, we're here to help farmers and landowners kind of help, conserve their natural resources. And a lot of people are kind of nervous when they get to talking about money and, money within the federal government. And, we can definitely help with that. But at the end of the day, we want to help, provide technical assistance to you on your land. And so what that does is, before any eligibility stuff is, handled and all that, we can come out there onto the property and we can do a field visit, and we can walk the property with you, and you just go ahead and establish that relationship, and that allows us to put our eyes on the property and get an idea of what you're looking at to do. Are you wanting to look at it from a timber market standpoint, if we're looking at it, a timber stand, or are you really just wanting to look at it for wildlife, promoting wildlife? And so we can offer, it still ties in with our practices, but it's not necessarily has a dollar amount on it. So we would come out, look at the property, and then we can set up what we call a conservation plan for you. And that gives a timeline of some practices that would be beneficial to kind of help conserve soil and water and animals and all the natural resources. And so that's just kind of, we always have to have a conservation plan if we do any programs. So that's always step number one, but that is something that could just be the final step. It doesn't have to, we don't have to go program route if you are worried about, the money and tying money into something to change the property. We can just do some technical assistance to help you get started in the right direction.
Well, I remember, I'm the second oldest grandchild out of 35. There's 35 of us. And when my Uncle Marvin left back in the 60s, it was on me, to help Daddy do stuff, because Dad took me and my older sister to raise on as his children.
Right.
And, and y'all came on a little bit later. But when my term was over, guess whose turn it was?
Mine. Yeah, exactly.
It was yours.
Yeah, that's right.
And you remember, I know you went through the same situation. He'd send you to the house for a piece to go in the tractor.
I do remember.
And he wouldn't tell you what it was. He just expected you to know.
No,
And you'd have to, it'd be from way down in the field, too.
Right.
And you'd go down there with the wrong piece.
Yep. Come back with the wrong piece. Yeah.
And he'd send you right back up there, doing all that walking. We got plenty of exercise.
Those things taught you so much character.
Yeah.
Taught you a lot of character, built your character. And to see him at his age doing the things that he did, we ought to just keep that going, keep it going, and keep it alive.
And he could do anything, anything. If it had been a different time,
exactly.
God knows what he could have been.
Yeah, that's right.
And same with our grandmother.
Yeah.
I know right here where we're sitting he had a shop. That's where he shod horses and all, and he did all his own shoeing and all. He made wagon wheels. He was just a jack of all trades and a master of all of them. You hear that saying, a jack of all trades, a master of none. He was a master of all of them.
He was a true master, yeah. Just to see him, it was just amazing to see the things that he did at his age. And he taught you a lot of principles of life. And it built character in you. We just need to continue to strive to keep this place beautiful, man. It's a beautiful place, man. But, we need some resources that can help us and let the land grow.
Yes.
And do some positive things on it.
There's so many other things you can do with land, and I think that's kind of what I input on a lot of people that have land. Is like, yes, you may be able to do cattle, or you're doing some kind of timber harvesting, or you're growing timber, pine trees, but you can do other activities. There's hunting, camping. There's a lot of youth adventure stuff that's going on now. Glamping is a thing. So you can always sprinkle in something to where you get the younger generation to try to buy into it, because there's one thing that my dad, he did with us. Everybody had a part to play. Hey, y'all, there's 200 acres. There's plenty of stuff for y'all to do. So what would you like to do? And that's kind of where we started bringing in extra people. We talked to different economic development places and tourism people, and they kind of gave us ideas, and we just went from there. So while I talk to landowners, I get them, okay, you're a cattle farmer, but you got a nice lake out here. How about doing some kind of fishing activity or some kind of youth event?
This land is our land. We must take the opportunity going forward to reclaim it, to have knowledge with it, with one another, and with those who are yet to come. Join us on this journey. The path to assistance is paved with steps. Connecting your local NRCS office, attaining a farm service number, and creating a conservation plan tailored to your vision. Let us help you cultivate a future that honors your path. This is our story, one of legacy, land, and lasting impact. Together, let us redefine the narrative, ensuring that our heirlooms of the earth thrive for all time.